today is week 6.
Yes.
Week 6 and session 1.
Yes.
And we are on page number 22, the last paragraph with the new topic. You can counteract negative suggestions. Now you can continue there. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. You can counteract negative suggestions. Pick up the paper any day and you can read dozens of items that could sow the seeds of futility, fear, worry, anxiety, and impending doom. If accepted by you, these thoughts of fear could cause you to lose the will for life. Knowing that you can reject all these negative suggestions by giving your subconscious mind constructive auto suggestions, you counteract all these destructive ideas. Check regularly on the negative suggestions that people make to you. You do not have to be influenced by destructive heterosuggestion. All of us have suffered from it in our childhood and in our teens. If you look back, you can easily recall how parents, friends, relatives, teachers, and associates contributed in a campaign of negative suggestions. Study the things said to you, and you will discover much of it was in the form of propaganda. The purpose of much of what was said was to control you or instill fear into you. This heterosuggestion process goes on in every home, office, factory, and club. You will find that many of these suggestions are for the purpose of making you think, feel, and act as others want you to, and in ways that are to their advantage. How suggestion killed a man. Here is an illustration of heterosuggestion. A relative of mine went to a crystal gazer in India who told him that he had a bad heart and predicted that he would die at the next new moon. He began to tell all members of his family about this prediction and he arranged his will. This powerful suggestion entered into his subconscious mind because he accepted it completely. My relative also told me that this crystal gazer was believed to have some strange occult powers and he could do harm or good to a person. He died as predicted, not knowing that he was the cause of his own death. I suppose many of us have heard similar stupid, ridiculous, superstitious stories. Let us look at what happened in the light of our knowledge of the way the subconscious mind works. Whatever the conscious, reasoning mind of man believes, the subconscious mind will accept and act upon. My relative was happy, healthy, vigorous, and robust when he went to see the fortune teller. She gave him a very negative suggestion, which he accepted. He became terrified and constantly dwelt upon the fact that he was going to die at the next new moon. He proceeded to tell everyone about it, and he prepared for the end. The activity took place in his own mind, and his own thought was the cause. He brought about his own so called death, or rather destruction of the physical body, by his fear and expectation of the end. The woman who predicted his death had no more power than the stones and the sticks in the field. Her suggestion had no power to create or bring about the end she suggested. If he had known the loss of his mind, he would have completely rejected the negative suggestion and refused to give her words any attention, knowing in his heart that he was governed and controlled by his own thought and feeling. Like tin arrows aimed at a battleship, her prophecy could have been completely neutralized and dissipated without hurting him. The suggestions of others in themselves have absolutely no power whatever over you expect the power that you give them through your own thoughts. You have to give your mental consent. You have to entertain the thought. Then it becomes your thought and you do the thinking. Remember, you have the capacity to choose life, choose love, choose health. How wonderful.
This is really amazing, actually.
Yes.
See the power of auto suggestions. I remember once, there was a friend of mine who used to go to astrologers a lot, Every time he used to keep on telling me, now this is telling me this, now this grah, now this grah. And I used to wonder why he has to, go so much into these astrology things. Then he told me that he had taken his friend along with him, and to his friend there was some certain things. Astrologers always tell you some good points, some bad points, whatever is in their charts they tell. So he says, my friend is very smart. He says, whatever good is there na, I only listen to that. The bad I don't carry. I was like, this is the best approach.
Hmm.
Because you are accepting whatever is good. So this was really a very good approach. I felt, that whatever good is coming, and ultimately, if we have the deciding power of everything, why not? Why
Yes.
not to accept the good? Just he says, I don't listen to what the hell he was telling me about the bad things. I don't want to hear. I just took what I wanted to took, and that was the good things. So this was really interesting. So this is how this also he is in the first paragraph itself, where he is telling us one thing: destructive heterosuggestion. Check regularly on the negative suggestions that people make to you. We don't you think that as we have been mostly in our childhood also, people, yeah, parents are scolding us for some or the other reason. And we have also gathered so many, and now we repeat unconsciously with our own children also. Don't do this. Right before the session, Divishri was telling her, the parents were telling her that you will fall sick. And she said, no, I will not. See how the auto suggestion worked on her. And she's absolutely fine. So she did not take the
Yeah.
suggestion, and it's perfect.
I also remember another story here.
Yeah.
One of my friends, um, there is a belief that if you get married to uh, maternal aunt's daughter,
Hmm.
paternal aunt's daughter, there are things
Hmm.
like that. If
Hmm.
the marriage gets done within their own blood relatives for two
Hmm.
to three generations, there
Hmm.
are accepted distortions in the physical and mental health of the babies who were born as a result of those marriages.
Hmm.
So, one of my friends, she got married to her relatives only in
Hmm.
their own blood relations. She was got married to her paternal aunt's son. So, her husband had a belief that this is the third generation that we got married into our own blood relatives. So there is a probability that we may not get the children soon, or we may not at all get the children. So because of that belief in him, they couldn't get the children after marriage. It took them for 3 to 4 years, and by that time they have did all the things, like they have done whatever Shanti Puja is required for satisfying the ancestors who have departed, and they have consulted all possible doctors, and he made his wife undergo some small surgery 1 or 2 times. So he created a strong belief that it's not easy for him to get children through this marriage, and he suffered a lot for 3 to 4 years to replace his belief with the another new belief that he can get the children. By
Hmm.
he only did that effort by going to the astrologers, by doing Shanti Puja for ancestors, by going to the hospital, consulting doctors, and by making the wife undergo the surgery, all that. And after 3 to 4 years, they got a baby recently.
Hmm.
But somehow
See,
he could replace the hetero suggestion, he could replace the old belief with the new belief by by keeping his own efforts. But the thing
correct.
which delayed the pregnancy was not the blood relation, but the belief in him delayed the pregnancy. He didn't know that till now.
But see, the Muslim community, they are all getting married in the same way only.
Yeah, it's all in their belief. There are many others who got
Yes.
married to their own relatives, but they all got children immediately. I mean, there are many people who got children as soon as they got married. But in
Yeah.
this case, I saw the belief of the husband, how it worked. It
See,
really
these
took
are
time. They really worked hard.
See, there was there a need to work hard, Pushkani? It was just a belief
Yes,
which was so deep rooted that we don't even, at times realize that, oh, this is because of this belief. And you won't even think that a belief
that
was
was
wrong
yes,
because
that
it
was the
is so,
hetero suggestion which he accepted,
uh,
and he
it
only
was
suffered.
so deeply these things are so deeply microcosmic जिसको बोलते हैं ना
Mm.
microcosmic level. They are so deeply engraved in very minute things which we don't even know why things are not
Yeah,
manifesting, why we have to do so much of hard work. It is not actually hard work, it is only the belief system where we really need to shift that point. So
Also,
anybody has any other
yeah,
story? Yeah,
also,
Omkar, please.
also, I think there is a small thing we always, I think, as kids, everyone has experienced. We were told by our parents, a very simple thing: don't get wet in rain. You'll catch up cold. You'll catch up with cold.
yeah, true.
This is so simple, and I'm sure every one of us have are able to relate to it. And every time, or else
Yes,
one
yes.
more thing: uh, don't have ice creams. Don't have ice creams in winter or rainy season. This is something like,
Omkar, Omkar, I've been very rebellious. I've done everything which they say don't do.
it's something like, we have been feeded. We have been feeded, always feeded with this thing, like, don't do this. Don't, don't. It was
Hmm,
never like, an experimental thing for us. We would have
hmm.
tried. And instead, I think children have more power. I'm going to say more powerful, what do you say? Um, what do you say? Tolerance
Yes,
capacity. And,
actually, it is their
and
innocence. Na? They are not carrying any refrains or ifs and buts in their mind.
exactly. And at the same time, when we have the suggestions, we want to go more in rain because we know that nothing is going to happen. That willpower, that what we have inside us, that says like, what will happen? Nothing is nothing. It's so this thing. Nothing is
Yes.
going to happen if I go and get myself wet in the rain. Nothing is going to happen if I eat ice cream. I'm so strong. That belief, that belief itself is so strong that it's beautiful, and it's something like, we can relate how strong that willpower was.
Hmm. So no, there is one more belief. You know what I believe is what belief I was carrying. Like I always wanted to be an independent person, always. So when in this case, when you think you have people around and you are doing all the work, you never realize that at the core level you only want to be independent. And so when the world is just responding, the subconscious is just responding that you are doing everything on your own. We tend to understand why people are not working for us. Why is this not happening? Why is this? Because the the belief of being independent is actually underlined in the mind. As a girl child, you have to be independent, you have to take care of everything, you have to be this. So the kind of expectations which are kept as a girl child in your mind are so embedded in us that it becomes like really a barrier at times to overcome certain things, and we don't even know what is stopping us, what is there which is it's just a belief, whereas nobody has actually, there are no set goals in any scriptures or anything that this is how one has to behave. But still, there are there. That is it. So, chalo, let's continue.
Yes. Okay. Is anyone going to continue reading?
Okay.
Karyavarti can
Correct.
I'll read.
Oh, yes,
Omkar.
yes. No, Karyavati is reading. Come on.
The power of an assumed major premise. Your mind works like a syllogism. This means that whatever major premise your conscious mind assumes to be true determines the conclusion your subconscious mind comes to in regard to any particular question or problem in your mind. If your premise is true, the conclusion must be true, as in the following examples. Every virtue is laudable. Kindness is a virtue. Therefore, kindness is laudable. Another example is as follows. All formed things change and pass away. The pyramids of Egypt are formed things. Therefore, someday the pyramids will pass away.
Can you be a
The
little
first
louder?
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Shall I repeat from the beginning? I'll do. The power of an assumed
Please.
major premise. Your mind works like a syllogism. This means that whatever major premise your conscious mind assumes to be true determines the conclusion your subconscious mind comes to in regard to any particular question or problem in your mind. If your premise is true, the conclusion must be true, as in the following example. Every virtue is laudable. Kindness is a virtue. Therefore, kindness is laudable. Another example is as follows. All formed things change and pass away. The pyramids of Egypt are formed things. Therefore, someday the pyramids will pass away. The first statement about kindness. The first statement is referred to as the major premise, and the right conclusion must necessarily follow the right premise. A college professor who attended some of my Science of Mind lectures in May 1962 at Town Hall, New York, said to me, "Everything in my life is topsy-turvy, and I have lost health, wealth, and friends. Everything I touch turns out wrong." I explained to him that he should establish a major premise in his thinking, that the infinite intelligence of his subconscious mind was guiding, directing, and prospering him spiritually, mentally, and materially. Then his subconscious mind would automatically direct him wisely in his investments, decisions, and also heal his body and restore his mind to peace and tranquility. This professor formulated an overall picture of the way he wanted his life to be, and this was his major premise. Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways. Perfect health is mine, and the law of harmony operates in my mind and body. Beauty, love, peace, and abundance are mine. The principle of right action and divine order govern my entire life. I know my major premise is based on the eternal truths of life, and I know, feel, and believe that my subconscious mind responds according to the nature of my conscious mind thinking. He wrote me as follows. I repeated the above statements slowly, quietly, and lovingly in several times a day, knowing that they were sinking deep down into my subconscious mind, and that results must follow. I am deeply grateful for the interview you gave me, and I would like to add that all departments of my life are changing for the better. It works.
See, there is
Wonderful.
such a beautiful line, this one line in the end. I repeated the above statements slowly, quietly, and lovingly several times a day, knowing that they are sinking deep down into my subconscious mind, and that results must follow. See, so whatever we keep on repeating in ourselves, that has to, come into the existence.
It it it
So,
it also says it works. See the last two words, it works.
yes,
Last, like, yeah, it works.
yes,
So
it works. Yes.
powerful, so powerful.
This last week's holiday, when I was reading this now, this subconscious mind, I was actually planning for a holiday, and I had set up my mind that from this date to this date, I'm on a holiday. Believe me, I actually did it. I actually told myself that from 20th to 28th, I'm on a holiday. And as many programs came in between to, settle that, I told myself, I am on a holiday. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm on a holiday. On I think 15th or 16th, my sister called me, Didi, let's go for a holiday. And I was like, seriously? I was so damn excited about it. It actually happened. And we sorted out the whole of India's, best places where we can go because Delhi is very cold. So we thought of going somewhere which has a normal temperature or a better temperature than Delhi. So the Chennai trip suited us the best, and we from 25th to 28th. It didn't happen from 28th, but yes, from 25th to 28th, I was actually on a holiday. So this I did myself, continuously repeating that I'm on a holiday, I'm on a holiday, I'm on a holiday. So it actually happened.
Can I
So
can
this
I
is
just add? I'm
yes,
sorry. Beautiful thing.
yes,
I literally wanted to share this thing. Last time in the session, Parulji, you're not there, but Ram was taking the session and he beautifully told in the group before starting, this is going to be powerful. This is meant for you. This is like, enhancing it. So it is a kind of psychological, what do you say? More of an auto suggestion stating that how beautiful it can come out. See, there are two ways.
Preparedness.
Either it can be negative or it can be positive. Before starting reading itself, when Ram gave suggestion and told like this is powerful, already stating that. So psychologically, when we are preparing ourselves, it came out beautifully that way only. It came out beautifully. And that time, the discussion that happened or the paragraph when we are going through, it became more amazing.
It works.
Yes, it works. Okay.
But Ramji, I must
Yeah.
tell you,
We all
last week
accepted the
actually,
hetero suggestion.
Yeah, please go on. Please go on.
yeah, last week actually, while in the session you were like in the meditation for 10 minutes, maybe, or 5 to 10 minutes we had. Not
Yes,
exactly
yes.
meditation. You were speaking in the process, right? So like you
Yeah.
are beautiful. I mean, I am beautiful. I am serene.
Yes,
See,
yes.
after some time, first in the beginning, I felt like yes, Ramji is speaking to me. Ramji is
Mhm.
speaking to me. Then step by step, I went inside me.
Mhm.
No, it's not. It's not. After some time, I feel like it's not Ramji who is speaking. It's me who is speaking to me. Maybe because
Exactly.
of the voice, or maybe I connected to that much. I don't know. I felt like
Yeah.
myself speaking to my inner me, and each and every cell of my body and each and every cell of me inside is receiving
Mhm.
it. Like I can feel it. Like
Exactly.
I am speaking to my inner me. Like in the earlier sessions, like little me, big me, there was some session.
Yes.
No, in the beginnings, there was some program. The
Mhm.
singer
Yes.
who scolded and saying that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I could relate to it, and I felt like, acha, it can happen. So earlier I don't know. See, some
It works.
Ramji speaking to me. Yes, again it works. So I felt it was amazing. So I wanted to share actually in the last session itself. I'm thinking
Thank you.
something else in the session in the end. Yeah, I must say thank you, Ramji. I must say it.
No, it's just it's not just, it's a great privilege to be along with you guys. I really love this. So it works.
Yes, it works.
Yes.
Can
So
Continue.
this is
sorry.
so I would just like to add one thing. It's the two paragraphs that we have read now. I mean, like two of these things what we have read now. So it is speaking about something very important. It's something saying assumptions. Can we note that point? Shweta?
Also,
Mhm.
it is like affirmation, a bigger auto suggestion in terms of affirmation.
Yeah, it's there. He's telling that what would be an assumption?
Yeah, assumed major premise. The head itself tells about assumption.
Assumption. So
He said, no, your
he's
mind
telling,
works like a syllogism.
yeah. So assumption is different from knowing or having heard of or just kind of listening or something like that. If you pay very close attention in both the graph, in all those examples, they are clearly speaking that the person actually took the suggestion and started to behave exactly in that direction, and then the result happened. It works. Are we getting into this point?
He accepted it by
Yes.
assuming it.
Yeah, that is the assumption. So when do you know that you have an assumption? Is when you have accepted it and actually walking as if it is going to happen or it has happened, like this. Any questions?
Mhm.
So through assuming, he
I-
believed
I-
it to be true.
Yes.
So that means whatever we
It reminds.
assume, that itself becomes a belief.
Yes. I think like how Joseph Murphy is explaining all these things, I can very clearly see now that we should carry assumptions about whatever we are going to go ahead with.
Hmm.
So I'm bringing that point to that place. Assumption.
Okay.
So whatever we assume, it works.
Sorry to interrupt, Ramji, but I had an analogy, like maybe somewhere I heard it. And the point of assumption reminds me this. There is a small story. Is it okay?
Mhm. Yeah, please go on.
So see, yeah. The story says, in the story there is a Swamiji or a saint who is like senior practitioner of meditation or etc. He's a Swamiji,
Okay.
an young atheist adult, like who is completely atheist, and he thinks he is completely rational, practical, logical. He believes in science only. So he somehow went to visit to Swamiji, but
Mhm.
with no belief. So atheist asks Swamiji, Swami, I don't believe unless I see it. I'm a complete believer of science. I'm a modern person. I am a practical, rational, logical person. Unless until I see, I can't believe the existence of the God. He says, like, I can't assume God unless until I see him, unless until I see his presence. So
Mhm.
Swamiji says, but with a laughing smile on his face, Swamiji says, actually, my son, you are thinking in reverse way. It works in reverse way. Like, unless until you believe, you can't see the God. Unless until you believe his presence, you can't feel his presence.
Yes.
Of course, those two lines are beautifully framed.
Yeah. So we can again root back to this audio we had shared about the power of belief by Claude
Yes.
Bristol.
Yes, correct.
It roots back to that. So just my point was very simple. So I just wanted to say something about assumption, which he is actually pointing out here. So assumption is nothing but accepting it, and so that how will you understand the subconscious mind has accepted it? When you naturally start walking in that direction, just like this person started walking around saying to telling everyone that I am
going
going
to
to die on the full moon or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that. So assumption is very important. So When do you know that you have assumed is when you start actually walking in that direction.
Got it.
Yeah, any other
So
questions?
if that is the case, we can
any-
we can assume the positive side, right? Like this professor.
Of course. I am going to live a fulfilling life in the coming full moon.
Correct. Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways.
Yes,
It works. Yes. Yes.
it works.
Simple. Yeah.
Okay,
Shweta, do you understand what I'm saying?
friends, sorry to interrupt. There is 1 minute left. We can continue the discussion and we can continue with the next paragraph in the next session.
Yes,
Shweta, do you understand? Yeah.
yes. I'm
I'm
just
saying this.
hearing you people yes.
I'm saying this for a reason, and you understand that, right?
Correct, sir. Yes.
The life that is happening to us is an assumption that we are carrying within ourselves.
Correct. Yes.
And he's also
But
telling you don't need
that's
to
what
go to a saint.
but a few times what happens is like we meet many people and we keep on dragging those energies unknowingly, unconsciously, and we start believing that. Now this thought came like as I heard you people speaking. Like I was in some kind of messy kind of things. So like I this discussion is bringing me out of all the things. I think so that I should have attended the last week's class, because by not attending it, I went back for a week for not working on myself, and I again went back to the beliefs which I had or accumulated randomly from people, maybe. Yes,
So now do you understand that, right? He's telling that exact point to you. To you particularly, he's telling here, you don't have to go to any saint, you don't have to go to any woman, you don't have to go to any crystal gazer, or you don't have to go to any astrologer. They don't have
yes,
any kind of power over you